You saw the title and you saw the thumbnail. You're not hallucinating. Today in this video, I'm going to be explaining the Backrooms level known as level 107, which has apparently been taken over by furries. Yes, furries. Plus, I'll be explaining the incidents and the effects that led up to that and everything else in between. This level was actually suggested for me to do by members over on the fandom Discord server, so I think they kind of just wanted to torture me, maybe. But hey, here I am doing it. I'm a man of the people. What can I say? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the explanation of this level, and let's talk about furries in the Backrooms, shall we? Backrooms level 107 has been given a class 2 difficulty rating for having an easy exit and a medium environmental risk, as well as unclear entity danger, and there are furries here, so that might add to it. The level overall is made up of a giant cityscape. The buildings cover an estimated 4,000 kilometers of space, and it's comprised mostly of abandoned structures. The overall aesthetic of the city is kind of Soviet, brutalistic in design, and it seems very harsh and very depressive. The buildings in the city itself are situated in a circular shape, and it's at the very center of that circle where the majority of life in the level is, because the further you get away from that center, the more empty, the more dilapidated and ruined the city becomes. Beyond the buildings is an area known as the outskirts. This is what lies 4,000 kilometers from the center. This is kind of a no man's land with no society, no structure, just sparse rolling hills and trees for a few miles. But beyond the outskirts, there is another land that is what comprises the entirety of the rest of the level. It's a far more distant place known only as the Flatlands. This area is, simply put, a Minecraft super flat world. That's all it is. It's an infinite barren landscape filled with nothing but concrete forever, as far as you can see. This concrete is completely table flat and it extends out literally for the entire existence of the level. There's no end or beginning to it. It's snowing constantly in the Flatlands and in other parts of the level too, but in the Flatlands specifically, it's heavier, it's thicker, it's more enigmatic, and this giant concrete slab seems to always be covered in that snow. The slab itself has no features that we can really tell, except for what seems to be randomly appearing helicopters that land on top of it. The helicopters themselves are distinctly modern in design, especially compared to the Soviet-era aesthetic of the other parts of the level that look kind of old and stuff. These look new. There's no pilot, there's nothing controlling these helicopters, yet they can be seen landing and staying on in this concrete slab flatland area. If you go to explore the helicopters, you might find a random first aid kits or a ration supply inside of them, which is much like a real helicopter would have from real life. The origins of the helicopters are unknown, and the full extensiveness of the flatlands is also unknown, because no one wants to walk outside in a snowy, flat concrete tomb forever. It's not advised to go adventuring to the flatlands because there's nothing here to survive off of, except helicopter supplies. But now back to the city. The city seems to be a mangled mess of behemoth concrete buildings resembling skyscrapers. Like I said earlier, some of them are falling apart, some seem ancient, but the closer you get to the middle, the more well cared for the buildings are. The sky in the level is always hazy and dim and dark. There's very little noticeable stars or moons or suns or anything that you can see from the city, and the only time you can even see the stars is when you get out to the flatlands. It is always snowing in this level, and since it's always doing that, the temperatures are in the mid to upper negatives constantly, near the negative 30s in most times. Going inside a random structure in the city, you'll simply see what they look like. You'll see rooms and trash and debris and the ruins of this entire area. These buildings are okay to live in, although they might be, cold because it's snowing, but there's no supplies in them. There's nothing at all. It's just a barren husk of a building. So stay inside of them at your own risk. As you get even closer to the epicenter of the city, you might notice one specific building that sticks out from the others. This location is simply known as Dem Edificio, which translates directly to the edifice. This building is a gargantuan skyscraper standing about over 1,000 meters in height, and it acts as sort of a home base for the communities that live here and the furries as well. Yes, we're about to get into the furry stuff. Hold your horses. I gotta explain the level first, but I promise it's soon. First, I want to explain what you might find if you explore the edifice skyscraper. The interior of the building has many different levels and departments. In fact, it seems much bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. Some of these levels resemble research labs with equipment and tables and that kind of thing. Some are housing areas that look like empty liminal apartments. Others are indoor greenhouse areas, or furniture store areas, or supermarkets and things like that. Depending on where you go on each different level of this giant skyscraper, you're gonna find different things. If you remember anything about the Promised Land, it's kind of like that, how there's a giant skyscraper there with different stuff. But this giant skyscraper is literally the only place in the level that you can kind of come to and live in without being outside in the freezing snow. Speaking of the snow, although it is doing that constantly in the level, it never piles up more than a few inches. In fact, it seems to always stay at the exact same level. It's unknown how the remaining snow doesn't melt or where it melts to. We don't know how it stays that level. It should be piling up feet over feet over feet, but it doesn't. But now that you know all about the city, all about the flatlands, all about the outer wastes, it's time to talk about the furries. What you clicked on the video for. Level 107 is home to the typical entity like the Hound and the Death Moth. These creatures usually live out in the flatlands beyond the city, but more have been seen coming into the city and living in the abandoned buildings as of late. But the most common entity that you're gonna see here are known as Cascadians, or fur coats, or fur balls as they're nicknamed. These are furries that I was talking about. Now hold on with me here, don't click off yet. We're just getting started. The entities themselves seem to be kind of a branch off of the Homo sapien genus. They have no skin, instead they've adapted to this cold weather and they grew fur, along with more animalistic things like tails, snouts, and all that. And it seems like they did this to survive the freezing temperatures of this city. They still have decently high intelligence, kind of like humans, and they walk on two legs. And they usually behave and kind of talk like other people do as well. So essentially these furries, which that's what they are, they took over this building and this level, and they adapted many years ago to live in the cold environments, and they run the level currently alongside another group of people known as the Republic of Ariel. Now the ROA, the Republic of Ariel, has a ton of lore to it. It's way too much to talk about in this video. It's like 30 pages long, but pretty much the ROA is an independent nation that is formed in the Backrooms over the last centuries and stuff of it existing. There's independent governments inside, there's militaries inside, there's diplomacy. It's just this entire nation that lives in the Backrooms that you can join. So a group of them have come to the city as well, and they run the city along with the furries. The furries themselves are not hostile. They don't really attack you. They're just like humans. If you make them mad, then you're gonna get them mad, you know? But if you want to enter this level and you want to go find a furry to be a friend with, you can go to a particularly cold area of level -33's mall, and you can no-clip through it there to get here. And to leave the level, if you want to get away from the furries, you can find a building that resembles a bowling alley, and you can no-clip that to be sent to level 499. Though I don't know why you would want to come here, just to be in a freezing cold city that expands out forever. There's really nothing else here. But the furries did it, and they seem to be chilling. So yeah, I never thought I would cover a Backrooms level that has furries as its inhabitant. Not sure how to think about that, but you know, I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to judge at all. They're vibing down there in the Backrooms, and I guess everybody else is too. But if you want to check out this page, click the link below. Great page, and I might do a video on the Republic of Ariel. That's a ton of lore there, and you know me, I love lore, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for watching the video. I do hope you did enjoy it all. If you watched till the end here, comment furries in the Backrooms. That way I know that you're a real one, and if you're not commenting that, I know you didn't watch till the end, so you're fake. But on a real note, thank you so much for the support you've given the channel. Make sure to go check out Toogly, my other channel, and Spoogly, my third channel. If you want even more of me, I upload on there as well, all those channels. And I got a lot more stuff coming here, guys. This channel, I got some ideas for it, and I think you're really gonna enjoy them. But without further ado, without making this outro too long, I'll go ahead and end off the video here. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you when I see you next. Bye!